Another property of a matrix, meron tayong tinatawag na cofactor matrix. We need cofactors, especially for the numerical solutions of matrices kasi mas madali na lang natin ma-analyze or mas madali natin masolve ang isang matrix using cofactor. So, paano ba kunin ang cofactor? Let's start with 2 by 2 matrix. So, for this one, we have here elements A, B, C, and D. 2 by 2 yung size ng ating matrix. So, I'm going to get the cofactor of A. Yung para hindi ako nalito, yung aking pivot ay ilalagay ko dyan sa may aking element A. So, for the cofactor of A, that is equal to negative 1, 1 plus 1 times D. Paano mo nakuha yan? Ano yan? Ano yan? What's that? So, etong, since yung aking pivot kanina ay nandyan, yung aking pivot. So, papansinin ninyo na takpan si B at saka si C. Si D ang hindi na lang natatakpan. Constant po itong negative 1. Do not change that one. Ano itong exponent na 1 plus 1? This is your row index. Pasensya na sa aking pen. This is your row index and this is your column index. So, pansinin ninyo ang aking element A ay nasa row 1 at column 1. Since si D lang ang hindi natakpan ng aking pivot, yun yung isusulat ko dito. I'm going to enter this in your calculator. Negative 1 raised to 2 is 1 multiplied by D is D. Okay? Kapag ililipat ko yung aking pivot sa may dito, kay may D. Kung gusto kong kunin yung cofactor ni D, ililipat ko ngayon yung pivot. C, natakpan si A at si D. So, magiging cofactor ng D ko is equal to negative 1 raised to 1 plus 2 multiplied by C. Let's saan ko nakuha ito? Again, itong first digit dito, that pertains to your row index. Second number here, that indicates your column index. Ang ating B, element B, ay nasa may row 1 and column 2. Since si C lang hindi natakpan ng ating pivot, sulat ko lang siya. Negative 1 raised to 3 is negative 1 multiplied by C is equal to negative C. Okay? Kung gusto ko naman kunin yung cofactor ni C, ililipat ko ulit yung aking pivot. So, for the cofactor of C is negative 1 goes to 2 plus 1 times B. Again, yung aking C ay nasa may row 2, column 1. So, the cofactor of B, that is equal to negative 1 raised to 2 plus 2 multiplied by A. Ang location ng aking element B ay nasa may row 2, column 2. So, ito po ang mga cofactors ng aking matrix with elements A, B, C, and D. Now, be careful with your signs. Ito yung magiging sign na magiging guide natin as we go on with our discussion. So, alternating yung ating sign conventions. Okay? So, for example, this one. Matrix with elements 0, 1, 2, and 3. If we're going to get the cofactor of 0, paano ko nakuha yung cofactor ni 0? Is simply equal to negative 1. Again, this pertains to the, kung ano yung indices ng ating element. If I'm going to draw the pivot here, then, ang aking 0 ay nasa may row 1 and column 1. Si 3 na lang ang hindi natakpan ng aking pivot. So for for the cofactor of 1, that is simply equal to negative 1 negative 1 raised to 1 plus 2 multiplied by 2. So again, gusto kong kunin yung cofactor ni 1. So ililipat ko yung pivot. Let me just erase this one para hindi tayo nalilipat. Ililipat ko lang yung aking pivot dito. Kasi gusto kong kunin yung cofactor ni 1. So natakpan si 0, si 3. Hindi natakpan si 2. Ayan, siya. Yung aking 1 ay nasa may row 1 and column 2. And if we try to input this in your calculator, the cofactor of 1 is negative 2. So for cofactor of 2, that is equal to negative 1. And the cofactor of 3 is 0. Okay? So that is how you're going to solve for the cofactors of matrix, especially for 2 by 2. 2 by 2, malakal ay madali lang yung cofactor ng 2 by 2. Paano pag, let's increase, gawin natin siya 3 by 3. So for the cofactor of the matrix, especially for a 3 by 3 matrix, pansinin niyo yung ating mga sign conventions, okay? Balikan ko lang yung ating 2 by 2 kanina. Diba, if I'm going to get the sign convention for this for a 2 by 2, is plus, minus, minus, plus. Pansinin niyo yung makuha nating value. Plus, minus, plus, minus, and plus. So, a while ago, I have discussed with you how to determine the cofactor of a matrix, especially for a 2 by 2 matrix. This time, I'm going to discuss with you how to get the cofactor of a 3 by 3 matrix. So, for example, this one is a 3 by 3 matrix with elements A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So, I'm going to get the cofactor of A. Parang din lang sa may ginawang kanina dun sa may 2 by 2. Ilalagay ko yung pivot dito. That is equal now to constant yung negative 1. Ano yung location ni A? Nasa may row 1, column 1. This time, multiply it by ano yung mga elements na hindi covered ng pivot. I have here E, F, and H, I. Anong gagawin ko ngayon dyan? So that is equal now to negative 1 raised to 2 is 1. Multiply that by take the product of E, I. Subtract that to the product of H, F. Okay? So ulit, let's have the cofactor of B. So yung cofactor of B is ito lang. To determine the cofactor of B, ililipat ko ulit yung pivot dito sa may B. Okay? Then, again, constant si negative 1. Yung kanyang exponent, B is located at row 1, column 2. Multiply that by, ano yung mga elements na hindi covered ng pivot? I have here B, F, and G, I. So, the cofactor of B now is equal to negative 1 raised to 3 is negative 1. Multiply that by, take this, that is D multiplied by I, minus G, F. So, directionin natin. Are we going to solve for the cofactor of C? So, for the cofactor of C, again, constancy 1. C is located at column 1, row 1, column 3. So, ito si C. Multiply that by DE and GH. So that is equal to negative 1 raised to 4 is 1 multiplied by dh minus t. And then, diretso ko na. For the cofactor of d, that is equal to negative 1. D is located at row 2, column 1. Multiplied that by, ano yung mga elements na hindi covered ng pivot kapag ilalagay ko siya sa may D. So, ito yung pivot ko. Yung mga elements na hindi covered, we have here D, C, and H, I. So, that is equal now to negative 1 raised to 3 is negative 1 multiplied by DI minus H. Cofactor of E is equal now to negative 1 multiplied I raised to 2 plus 2 multiplied that by A times C G I. ACGI is equal now to 1 multiplied by AI minus G C. Then we have a cofactor of EF that is equal to negative 1 sa may row 2, column 3, that is AB, and GH is negative 1 multiplied by EH minus G. Let's go to cofactor of G. Lipat ko lang siya sa baba. So for the cofactor of G, that is equal to negative 1. Nasa may row 3, column 1. Is C and F is equal now to 1 multiplied by BF minus C. So for the cofactor of H. Nasusundan pa ba ako? This is not, since this is recorded, pwede nyo siyang balik-balikan. So, H is located at row 3, column 2. And the elements, we have AC, and is equal to negative 1, AF minus DC. Lastly, for the cofactor of I have negative 1, 3 plus 3, that's AB, BE, so that is equal now to 1 times AE minus B. Okay? So, sabi ko nga kanina, kung nahilo kayo doon, pwede nyo siyang pwede nyo yung i-rewind para mas masundan natin. Not just merely structures. Let's have example for this 3 by 3 matrix. Let's have this example. So for this matrix with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we are required to determine the cofactor for each element. For the cofactor of this matrix. So unahin natin yung cofactor of 1. That is equal to negative 1. Location, row 1, column 1, multiplied by. So, pakita ko ulit. I'm going to highlight this, yung aking 1, and yung aking pivot. Yung mga hindi naka-highlight is 5, 6, 8, and 9. So, that is equal to negative 1 raised to 2 is 1. Multiply that by 5 times 9 is 1. minus the product of this. 8 times 6. So that is equal to negative. Nagets? Subukan natin. Ay, i-resume ko muna ito. Let's try to solve for the cofactor of 2. That is equal to negative 1 multiplied by negative 1 multiplied by 1 plus 2. That is 2. Kita ko lang ulit. Kung andito yung pivot, yung wala hindi covered ng pivot, is 4, 6, 7, and 9. So, this is equal to negative 1 multiplied by 4 times 9 minus 7 times 6. This is equal to 6. Nasusundan ba? Cofactor of 3 is equal to negative 1. 3 is 1, 3. That is 4, 5, 7, 8. It's equal to 1 multiplied by 4 times 8 minus 7 times 5. And this is equal to negative 3. So for the cofactor of 4, the cofactor of 4, diretsuhin ko na. Again, you may try to pause this video, then subukan mo kunin yung mga cofactors. Sundan lang ninyo yung process how I did the cofactors of 1, 2, and 3. You may pause this. Kunin ninyo yung cofactor of 4. Just merely share on your screen. Okay? So, kunin ko yung cofactor ni 4. That is 1, 2, 1, Try to solve it. Wag lang ninyong panoorin yung video. Try to solve it by in your own para masundan natin lahat how I solve these cofactors for these matrix. Okay? 1, 7, 8, 1. Equal to negative 1, 3. Sorry. So for the cofactor of 8, I have here negative 1. That is 3, column 3. And at row 3, column 2. Multiply it by the elements 1, 3, 4, and 6. That is equal to negative 1 multiplied by 1 times 6 minus 4 times 3 equal to 6. Lastly, for the cofactor of 9, that is equal to negative 1 raised to row 3, column 3, 1, 2, and 4. Is equal now to 1 multiplied by 1 times 5 minus 4 times 2. This is equal to 9. So for the final answer, the cofactor of the matrix with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the cofactor is 3 by 3, sir. So, expect na yung ating final answer ay 3 by 3 din. Kung paano nyo sinolve siya yung pagkakasunod-sunod nyo, be careful with that. Okay? So, the cofactor is negative 3, 6, negative 3, 6, 12, 6, negative 3, 6, negative 2. Ito yung yung cofactor ng ating matrix. Now, be careful yung pagkakasunod-sunod. Dito, yung matrix, ay yung element 9, ang nasolve natin na cofactor is negative 3. So, since andito si 9, yung kanyang cofactor na 3, the same location din. Nandito rin siya. Sa may row 3, column 3. The cofactor of 7 is negative 3. Ang ating 7, dito sa may original matrix, ay nasa may row 3, column 1. Yung kanyang cofactor na negative 3 ay dapat nandito rin sa may row 3, column 1. Be careful, ulitin ko yung paglalagay ninyo ng inyong mga cofactors sa mismo matrix. Okay? So, again, ulitin yung sabi ko kanina, kung may kinalito kayo dito sa may cofactor, pwede nyo siyang i-rewind. Recorded naman siya. Pwede nyo siyang i-rewind para mas maging familiar. Para mas maging familiar kayo in solving for the cofactors of a 3 by 3 matrix. Come on, shake, shake, shake. Life can shake, shake, shake. Brand new look so good on you. So shake like you've been changed. We go to the next property of a matrix. We have here the adjoint matrix. Ano bang adjoint matrix? This is also known as the adjugate matrix, or ito yung tinatawag natin the transpose of the cofactor matrix. So, ang adjoint matrix, in other words, itra-transpose mo yung cofactor matrix. Yan yung adjoint matrix. So, this is the adjoint matrix A that is equal to the transposed cofactor. So, yung ating matrix Aij, that is the cofactor of matrix A. So, let's look at this example. Find the adjoint matrix of B. So, the very first thing, to solve for the joint matrix of matrix B, we have to get the cofactor matrix of this matrix B. Paano natin ulit to solve yung cofactor nito? This is a 3 by 3 matrix. Parang yung ginawa natin kanina for the cofactor of a 3 by 3 matrix. So first, we need to identify the cofactor of matrix B or yung Bij. The cofactor of B11, my answer here is negative 4. Ma'am, paano nakuha yung negative 4? Balik, try to solve this the process we did a while ago for the cofactor matrix. The cofactor of B12 is 2. The cofactor of B13 is 2. B21, 1. B22, negative 1. B23 is 1. B31 is 3. B32 is -1, B33 is 1. So this is the cofactor matrix of matrix B. Ma'am, hindi ko mag-gets. Paano yun? Ulitin ko po. Itong matrix na to, bago ninyo ma-solve yung kanyang adjoint matrix, you need to get the cofactor matrix of this one. So how do we solve for the cofactor of this? Kung paano natin kinuha yung cofactor matrix ng 3 by 3 matrix kanina, that is how are you going to solve for the cofactor matrix of this. At ang lumabas sa aking computation, yung cofactor matrix ng matrix B ay ito. Okay? This is the cofactor matrix. Now, kapag itra-transpose mo itong cofactor matrix, yan na ngayon yung magiging adjoint matrix. Ulitin ko yung pag-transpose, yung rows magiging column. Tama? So, yeah. So for this cofactor matrix, para makuha ko yung adjoint matrix, I have to transpose this. And this is, take the transpose of -4, 2, 2, 1, -1, 3, -1, and 1. And this is 1. Ito na ngayon yung magiging adjoint matrix ko. Pansinin ninyo, etong row na to, naging column. Yung row na to, naging column siya. The same with this one. Naging column din siya. Ulitin natin. Ang adjoint matrix is the transpose of your cofactor matrix. Okay? So for this one, we go now to the determinant of A2 by 2 matrix. Ano ba ang determinants? If we try to look here at your notes, determinant, pakita ko lang sa inyo, lahat po ng mga pinagsasabi ko dito sa video na to ay makikita sa inyong notes. So, I fully encourage you to read itong notes na to na naibigay po sa inyo kasi lahat po ng mga discussions ay naman. So, for the determinants, an nth order determinant is an expression associated with n by n matrix A. So, determinant. So, for the determinant, let's just have an overview since you have already discussed this in your algebra. So, if you're going to consider a linear algebraic system, the matrix of A, the determinant of the system is formed from the coefficients of matrix A, and is represented as this one, as you can see there in your screen. So, lahat po ng mga pinagsasabi ko dito sa video na to, nandun na rin po sa inyong mga notes. So, basahin niyo po yung notes na binigay sa inyo. Nandun po lahat ng mga discussions natin. The purpose why I'm doing the instructional video is for you to understand further paano nakukuha yung paano kinagamit or paano nagsusolve ng mga matrices using different equations. So, going back to our notes, for the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix, let's have this one, elements A, B, C, and D. To solve for the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix, we take the product of these diagonals, A times D, and we also take the product of yung isa pang diagonal, which is B times C. So, the determinant of that, yung ating A multiplied by D, i-subtract natin yung product ng B and C. For example ulit, for matrix A with elements 2, negative 1, 3, and 0. The determinant of this is simply this one. 2 times 0 minus 3 times negative 1. So the determinant of matrix A is equal now to 3. Gets another. For this matrix B, the determinant of this is simply equal to 5 times 6 minus 4 times 1. So the determinant of matrix B is 26. Nakuha natin. How about, madali lang naman yung 2 by 2. Paano pag 3 by 3? We have actually two methods for the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. The first one is the general method. The general method is also known as the Laplace expansion. This, we can calculate the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix using cofactors. So, for example, for matrix A, we take this row first. We take the cofactor of this row, yung row ng ABC. Paano ulit coding yung cofactor using a 3 by 3 matrix? Parang pinag-aralan din natin dun sa may previous slides. So, A, multiply that by the other elements, minus B. As you can see there in your screen. Ma'am, bakit ganun? Bakit yung A, positive dito? Tama. Bakit yung B negative, tapos yung C positive ulit? Saan nakuha itong mga sign conventions na to? Try to go back in sa previous slides. For a 3 by 3 matrix, especially pag kukunin nyo na yung cofactor, that is positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So, dito ko nakuha yung mga sign conventions. Always take note of these sign conventions. Okay? Always take note of that. So, yung parang ginawa natin in the previous slides, take the sum, yung downward diagonal and the upward diagonal. So, for example, this one. Determine the determinant of this matrix using the general method or the Laplace expansion. So, I'll take the first row as the pivot row. So, kukunin ko muna, i-specify ko, I'm going to use as my, ano yung pivot row? Yan yung po yung magiging parang reference row ko. Dito ako magsisimula. Pili lang, kung kayo magsusolve, pili lang kayo ng isa. Either yung first row, the second row, or the third row. Papakita ko sa inyo, whatever the row you choose, pare-pareho din lang yung determinant na makukuha niyo. So, let's try to use as our pivot row or as our reference row yung first row. I'll take this row. So, kung yan yung magiging pivot row ko, dyan ilalagay yung cursor. So, if I'm going to take the cofactor of 1, yan yung magiging cofactor ko. Then, ililipat ko ngayon yung cursor dun sa may 0. Minus yung cofactor ng 0. Then, ililipat ko ulit yung aking pivot plus yung cofactor ng 1. So, pwede na akong diretso sa aking computation to determine the determinant of this matrix. Ano yan? Maawatan ko na yung siguro niya. So, for this, saan ko nakuha itong 1 times 1? Diba? Sabi natin kanina, take the product of this diagonal. Yan po yung 1 by 1. Then, minus the product of this. Minus 2. At dito'y apo jay cofactor jay 1. Baka no malito kayo dyan. Bakit dito 0 na lang? If you take the cofactor of this, any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Sinulat ko na lang siya. Kapay nga bandugak pa lang dito. Isumat lang ang 0 ko lang ang answer. Diba? And next, take the cofactor of 1. Saan kinuha itong 2 by 2? 2 times 2 onwards, minus itong diagonal 1 times 1. Gets tayo? So that is, you try to input that in your calculator. Ang makukuha kong sagot, ang determinant ng matrix A ay 0. Ma'am, pwede bang gamitin kahit ibang row as may pivot row? Sabi ko nga kanina, pwede po. Pwede niyong gamitin kahit yung second row o yung third row. Paano kung yung second row ang magiging pivot row? O, the same ba yung makukuha kong sagot na ang determinant ng matrix A ay 0? Tingnan natin. So, I'm going to use as my pivot row, C, second row. So, gagamitin kong pivot row, C, 2, 1, 2. So, kung gagamitin ko siya as my pivot row, parang yung ginawa ko kanina. Nandyan yung aking cursor or yung pivot. Yung 2, I'll take the cofactor of 2. Ma'am, bakit negative yun? Ba't kanina positive? Ulitin ko ulit. Since that is a 3 by 3 matrix, the anti-cofactor, positive, negative, positive. Negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Okay? So, no di second row, tagbaling nga pivot mo. Ito yung tagbaling nga pivot. Take note na di first, no alam di cofactor na dito ito. Negative na daros, di sign convention na di. Iso di. And multiply that by the cofactor. And di ulit natin. Then, plus 1, the cofactor of 1, minus 2, the cofactor of 2. Nagets? So, let's, pabalin na ang direction. The determinant of matrix A, negative 2, take the product, 0 times 1, minus 2 times 1. Kita niyo, baka maulaw kayo, Jacob, di pa sunod-sunod, pagkasunod ng aking repetition. 1, mga laak dito 1, isubihay ni 1 times 1, minus 1 times 1. Gets? Minus 2, 1 times 2, minus 1 times 0. Okay? If you try to put this in your calculator, or tatnahan kayo nga maulaw, pakitak lang. Negative 2. Dito yung negative 2 nga dito yung nagti-parenthesis, iso yung answer na dito yung nagti-bracket. Or pabalik yung i-direction sa calculator. And you will see it, makita yung, the answer for the second row, the same answer, inaala. The determinant of matrix A is equal to 0. See? Kanina, I used first row as my pivot row, and nakuha ko na yung determinant ng matrix A, 0. The same answer, if I'm going to use the second row as my pivot row, the same na yung aking determinant, 0 din. Pwede rin ba nagamitin ko yung third row, yung 1 to 1? Pwede. You may use also the third row. Paano mo yung third row gagamitin ko? The same po yung magiging procedure ng solution na. If I'm going to use the third row as my pivot row, that is, I'm going to take the cofactor of 1, positive di so be careful with that, positive di siya, nangala akong hindi positive. Kulitak manan din bracket ay 3 by 3, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Negative, sorry. Positive, negative, positive. So, I'll start with positive. Since nagrugi, i-start ko nga pivot row, jay, third row. Okay? Then, we use po the cursor. I'll take the cofactor of 2. And I'll take the cofactor of 1. So, ulit. Pakita ko lang ulit yung aking paano ko siya na-solve. Itong una po dito, that is the cofactor of 1. And this one, cofactor of negative 2. The cofactor. And, wag po tayong malito. So, inputting this in your calculator, you will arrive at the same answer. The determinant of matrix A is equal to 0. See, kahit na anong row yung gagamitin mo, the same answer yung makukuha mo. And yung procedure na to for the rows, this is also the same kung gagamitin mo yung column. Pwede ba, kung dito sa may solution ko dito, gumamit ako ng row. Pwede rin po bang gamitin yung column? Pwede. Pwede nyo naman gamitin yung column. Kung ayaw nyo ng row, pwede nyo gamitin yung column. The same procedure na lang. Dito sa row, dito nga column, mabalin na ta. No, alam DJ cofactor 1. Diba? Alam dyan cofactor 1. Since dito ka nga na kindly make sure lang na surutan dyan sa convention. So, no alam di cofactor ni 1, no alam di determinant ni A, usarap ti reference mo ay ti pivot row mo, ay pivot, hindi na to pivot row, pivot column. So, no alam di cofactor ni 1, that is 2, 1, 1, 2, positive D, then, minus 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, then plus 1, 1, 0, 2, 1. Then, the same. Arami naman lang dito. You will arrive at the same answer. The determinant of matrix A is equal to 0. As oray no balik-balik tayo niya, oray no niya to sa row or column. You will still arrive at the same answer. Basta nasurutam din yung procedure na diyan. The same determinant mo lang kinahanglan. Okay? So that ends our discussion regarding the matrix operations, the properties of matrix and determinant. Can we wait for other instructional videos for the further discussions on numerical methods?